All right, so finally got a chance to run through the roles from Can You Beat a Vegas Influencer for myself and see how I would do against a Vegas influencer. Just playing the strategy that I've been playing the most lately, both on my practice table, in Crapsy, and in real life. And that is basically inside for whatever the table minimum is, double tap. And then once I've gotten out of the hand, press and collect and press and collect. Now, this table proved to be a little bit challenging because of the limits placed on it, because it was set up as a bubble craps table to mirror the video. And so the max you could place on any of the numbers was $200. And so I very quickly hit table max, and probably halfway in hit table max on all the place bets. And then towards the end, I got a little creative with actually doing a pass line bet with odds in order to increase the amount of money that I was able to bet. So the only advantage that I had was knowing that this was going to be a long roll. But just to keep it in line, I played it the way I would have played it, regardless of knowing that the rolls were going to be what they were. And the only thing I added, besides just playing the inside, was I played the hardway parlay, starting at $1, and if it hit, parlayed that, and if it hit, collected, and then parlayed. And I think I never got any second parlays on it to hit, but a couple of the first parlays did hit. So no big, huge wins on the hardway parlay, just a few little things. So I'll go through, and I did beat a Vegas influencer. He made $3,300 off of it, and I made 5,600 or 5,866 and of course the 89 cents, because it's bowl craps, it pays to the penny. And on the last roll there, you can see I had $1,300, just over $1,300 out there on the table. So I didn't pull back, I didn't regress or anything. I just shot for the moon like you are supposed to do when you are playing the all out sort of strategy with going for table max and shooting for the moon. So I'll go through really quickly, if I can, sort of what I did from roll one on up to roll 60. And so we started out with a pass line, no pass line bet, but the first come out roll I didn't make any bets on. And the second roll was a 9, and you can see I just went across. I went across from not table minimum, which was $1. I went across for, or inside for what I saw him placing in the come and the pass line. So he went out there with $10 bets. So that's where I started, was with $10 bets, to try and make it sort of equivalent and see how much better I could do with starting at the same level he did. So inside for 44 inside. And then the next roll is an 8, and we got 14 on it. And you'll see that we started placing the hard ways at that point. And we went ahead and pressed the 8 up to 30, sort of a power press there. And that was what I had decided, to go straight to a quarter or 30, quarter on the 5 and 9, 30 on the 6 and 8, and then go from there, press collect, press collect. So another 8, we got $34 off of it. And this is the 4 8s in a row. So you can kind of see I went ahead and pressed and then collected, and still didn't press up the 8 because I was in the collect phase there. It's not until the next 8 that I press it after the hit. We get a 5, so we press the 5 up, and it doesn't want to show me because I didn't win anything there on that one. And we get a 4, and so the 9 was the new point on that last roll, so we get a 4. And I had taken, that was one thing I did. Instead of pressing the 8s back here, instead of pressing the 8 again, I went ahead and spread to the 4 and 10. So rather than pressing that 8 up a third time, I think it was, I'm out of the hand now. I want to pick up those other numbers. So let's get out to the 4 and 10 because we know we're going to hit table max eventually. And I want to pick up more numbers. And this is actually what I do in real life as well. I want to pick up those other numbers and start them off a little higher. I want them to be at the same level I pressed up other numbers to. So there's the 9, there's the 4, we get a 5. You'll see we pressed the 5 after that, made it a quarter. The next one we got a 10, and that paid off spreading to the numbers. The spreading the numbers already paid off once on the 4, and there again on the 10. And then we got a 6, and this is the first hit on the 6 we got, so all we did was press it up to 30, get it to that green chip level, and then boom, a nice big hit on after we pressed the 4 the last time of a 145. And I think that's a little different because I'm losing the hard way down there as I play the hard ways. But 5, so 36, that I think that was a collect. Then another 8, and that's probably, well, let's see, what's the next one? No, so after this 8, we pressed it to 120, and whatever we win, we're pressing as much as we can with that winnings. So straight to 120, and boom, we get a nice hit on it, winning 140. And then the 3, which was a no, I didn't jump in and play any of the horn numbers. Although on a real table, if I see a couple of those rolling, I will go ahead and put down probably a horn bet or a horn high bet, something along those lines. But I stayed away from the horn bets for this one, just because I didn't want to be unfair in knowing that there were going to be horns along the way. And so another nice hit, 140 on the 8. Then our pressed bet on the 6 pays off, and we collect that one. We get another 3. There's another horn there. Then our second press, let's see, collect. Well, it's not a collect. We'll take this 6 and press it. As you'll see in the next one, we bumped it up to 60. We get a 2. We get a 5. So our 50 on this that we spread to earlier, or actually pressed earlier, will pay off. And then boom, we get a big 8. And at this point is where we're now at table max on the 8 because there's been so many 8s. So I think I collected that one. We get an 11 and 12. This is where it would have been nice to play a horn. And you see a horn, bet a horn. There you go, 11 and a 12. And then another hit on the 9, and I will see the next hit roll whether I pressed or collect that. So that was the point, so it's not really showing me anything. Yes, I went ahead and pressed it. Actually, that was a collect. No, so I take that back. That's collect. And then the 10, we get a nice $200 hit. That, I believe, is a collect because we don't press it the next time around. Then we get a 6. And that's, I believe, a collect. Yes, so we left it alone, left it at 60. So we collected that one. We get, let's see, the 6 was the point, so the 9, everything's off for that. And then we get an 8, and we've got a $200 hit. And this is where I think I decided to go ahead and spread. I can't press the 8 anymore, but I'm still wanting to use that money. And so you should see the 5 and the 9. Yes, the 5 and the 9. And I must have at some point already pressed the 6 to 200 as well. So now I've got the 2 middle inside numbers, press the table max. Since this is bubble, that's only 200. I think some places it's 300, but for the purposes of this, I set it at 200 for this video. And then we've got another 8, so bam, right away, another nice $200 hit. And this is where we really start to make our money. So the next thing we've got, we took those and I think used those to press the outside numbers again. And it would just kind of press collect from here. And were big hits on every roll except for the horn numbers. So I'm going to kind of quickly jump through these here because there's quite a few. We're up into a nice, anytime the outside numbers hit there, that's a nice win. So almost $300 every hit there. Even on the I was having the hard ways be on during the come out roll. Everything else would have stayed off. So I wanted to really take it. And it was only using $1 on those. So there's finally our 7 on the come out. And you can see at this point is where I picked up just a few rolls before this, I had picked up the pass line. So actually, I think right at this point. So here's the 9 gets hit as the point. And then on the next one, I took advantage of being able to place. And I decided I would go 25 so that I would kind of start out a little higher since I'm already way in profit. And then whatever max odds for the point, I would take those. And that worked out nicely because the 6 is what hit next. And I had 5 times odds on it, so $150 on the odds, 25, so $175 right there, plus whatever the placing the 6 paid as well. And so when you're at table max, you want to, it's okay to play both of those if you're really, really going for it. So there's a come out 7, doesn't hurt us because we're off for the come out roll. Then we get a new point of 10. And we went ahead and maxed out the odds on the 10, which makes it 75 at 3 times odds. And we get a 6, so nice, another $230 hit. And then a 9, so a $290 hit. And then 7 out comes, and we lose $1,300. But we're still up. Net $5,866.89. So we definitely beat the Vegas Influencer, showing that there are other ways to play and better ways to play than just come bet, max odds, come bet, max odds, come bet, max odds. Those can get you caught out there. Of course, placing all the numbers or buying the numbers that you can and going all the way across can set you up for vulnerability as well. But we started conservatively on the inside and then got out of the hand and then really went for it. And just to show you on a nice long roll like this one, where it's 60 rolls, just an unheard of amount of rolls for bubble craps, you can really clean up a lot better by using your place bets and buy bets on the line numbers instead of, and even with the table max, instead of just doing come bets, which pay to 1-to-1. Now you do pick up a little bit on the odds if you're maxing the odds, but overall we did better than he did. So that kind of disproves that the best way to play is come bets with odds, max odds. It's not. You need to use the power of compounding to get your bets pressed up using your winnings, and you really can clean up nicely. Thanks for watching Great Craps, and I hope this was informative for you. And remember, you can play anywhere.